After deciding to let Alchrist, Merrin and Seedal live, we teleport back to Solm so we can walk towards Firene for Chapter 16. The Royals convene for a ring count where currently we have Lyn, Lucina, Ike, Byleth and Corin, while the Fell Dragon has the other 7, Marth, Sigurd, Celica, Micaiah, Leaf, Roy, plus the Azure Twins. While everyone is trying to figure out how to get the other rings back, Vander reports that Illusion ships are heading to Firene, and the party makes haste. Meanwhile, we see Marnie and Morvier in charge of that fleet, who are ordered to eliminate everyone they see. During that conversation, they get a report of 2 deserters, Rosado and Goldmary, who manage to snag the ring of the Azure Twins, thus the fleet gets redirected to get the ring back. As for the 2 deserters, they make landfall in Solm, but are quickly found, though they manage to weave their way around until they encounter our army, initially thinking we're still enemies until Hortensia's ghost convinces them otherwise. To apologize, they hand over the ring in their possession and we awaken Emblem Erica, who will be utilized by Rosado on this seashore map littered with illusion soldiers who, overall, are a few levels weaker than the foes we faced in Byleth's Paralogue. To be honest, there's not much to this map aside from its gimmick, which we'll get to when it happens, the visitable shack on the top left, and the fact that Marnie and Morvier have only gained 1 extra level since our last encounter in Chapter 14. As for the Azure Twins, they can switch with one another and give access to their own respective skills, Lunar Brace from Erica and Solar Brace from Ephraim, both of which get combined when engaged. Since we're in our pre-Corin Paralogue state, I put her onto Jean. We set everyone into these positions and get a start on this glorified warm-up map. Just before turn 1 begins, the tides rise, creating shoals to hinder our progress, and this shifting of the tides will occur just before every even-numbered turn from this point. We start off by defeating the nearby corrupted worm by using the Azure Twins' Twin Strike Engage attack, as it deals effective damage against corrupted, followed by a few tomahawks from Pinette. I then split the party as follows. Going south is Fogado, Merrin and Jean, while everyone else switches between the north and center as the battle goes on. Aside from Fogado missing an easy enemy phase elimination, the tide recedes and a singular ruffian appears from thin air at the north, who will be gunning for the lone shack. Turn 2, Pinette shoots down the nearby Griffin Knights that our 2 bow-focused units fail to defeat. Then Merrin's backup attack takes out the other flyer. Afterwards, Merrin herself keeps a safe distance from the Royal Knight on the fort ahead, as she can get one-shot by their Rider's Bane. At the north, Louis charges ahead, then sets Great Ether. Everyone else cautiously advances through the center, with Rosado entering open water to free up land space, while Pinette engages and calls doubles, with the middle one eliminating a paladin, severely injuring one of the berserkers, before disappearing with a backup attack. Then the Royal Knight at the south freezes Rosado. Turn 3, Great Ether slams down, nearly getting a few kills, though Pinette, Goldmary and Clan were close enough to follow through, while Louis completes the sweep with a crit on the full HP Thief. Likewise, the central path was easily cleaned up as well. Unfortunately, the south side wasn't as simple, due to the presence of that Rider's Bane wielding Royal Knight, so to help us push a tile more, Jean sets up the Vein of Flames while Merrin and Fogado take out one of the Lance Fighters, which leads to Fogado getting hit hard by the other one. Merrin is frozen this time, and Alchrist lures out the Thunder wielding Dark Knights from the south. Turn 4, with the higher tide, the south comfortably knocks out the lone Lance Fighter and Rosado joins their path. The trio at the north commandeer the island fort, and then Alchrist and Alir take out a Dark Knight each. Finally, with how far ahead the ruffian has got, Ivy warps Pinette well ahead of everyone else, which gets her broken by one of the central island heroes, and finally Rosado is frozen again. Turn 5, because of where I warped Pinette, she can't easily rush and dispatch the ruffian, so I have her one-round the hero that attacked her. Ivy warps Louis to the central island so he can help take down the remaining unit there. Rosado gets frozen once more, And as the tides recede, the north and south forts spit out 3 reinforcements each. Entering turn 6, Rosado being stuck sucks as one of the reinforcements at the south happens to be a bow knight, though it didn't take me long to realise that Jean can freeze all the enemies there with a torrential roar, so Merrin can safely take out the royal knight on the fort, and Fogado can get a free elimination on the lance fighter. Despite being in range of the corrupted worm, Louis takes the Emblem energy tile to his left. One of the axe fighter reinforcements is taken down at the north, then Ivy positions herself just behind Clan to heal Pinette, so she can comfortably continue her rampage on a lance fighter in a thicket. Louis is struck by the worm, and 5 bars of his engage meter are siphoned by the Spirit Strike skill. Pinette gets smashed closer to the ruffian, then we enter turn 7. The Southern Quartet continue their momentum, taking out the Bow Knight this time and keeping the remaining units frozen with Corrin's dreadful aura, whilst Rosado claims the Emblem energy tile. Alchrist and Delir destroy a cavalry unity. Goldmary smashes the Dark Knight next to her to death. Clan and Louis cover Pinette's rear so she can comfortably snipe the ruffian, who was 1 turn away from demolishing the shack. Then Ivy heals Louis. Up goes the tide, and it's now turn 8. The remaining enemy units on the central and southeastern islands are comfortably defeated, and it's already turn 9. Louis continues the streak of lucky crits this map, allowing his team to deal with the killing edge-wielding hero further ahead sooner rather than later. Then Rosado and Ivy are positioned so they can aid whichever lane needs more help next turn. Merrin lures in the next set of enemies on the southern strait, and Goldmary wins her island's battle royale, asserting dominance over her triangle-advantaged opponent, which is quickly short-lived when reinforcements appear from our starting position, the north and south forts, and one of the center forts. Turn 10, Fogado and Jean retreat to the southern fort and clear out its possessor, then Merrin joins up to heal. Thankfully, Ivy was in range to help defeat one of the central reinforcements. Rosado and Goldmary take refuge there too. Then Pinette clears the path to the shack, and we are rewarded with the Recover Staff. To cap things off, Louis lures in the corrupted worm towards him, and everyone survives the reinforcement onslaught into turn 11. The top left team start making their way to Marnie for the next few turns. Fogado stands at the southern fort and shoots down the Griffin Knight. Jean sets the Vein of Flames to mitigate the thieves' attacks on Fogado, and Merrin layers the protection with Bonded Shield. Thanks to the numerous units on the central island, the enemies surrounding them are cleaned out easily to the point where Alir can intercept the starting area reinforcements, with the wrong weapon, though it didn't matter much since we're still able to knock down the flyers on turn 12. Fogado snipes down the remaining flyer at the south, and now his team has the annoying thieves to deal with, who can easily 2-round the units there, and attacking them is dangerous too since we don't have the firepower to take them both out at once. Initially I tried to go for a lucky crit with Merrin, but afterwards realised that was a stupid idea even if it did work as the remaining thief can just double Jean. So there goes a Time Crystal charge, and we switch to defense by freezing the furthest thief and having Merrin use Bonded Shield so Jean only takes 1 hit. Turn 13, the reinforcements are no more. Pinette engages the core doubles to distract the corrupted worm from Rosado's Twin Strike, then regular attack on turn 14. Pinette then launches Astra Storm on one of Marnie's healers to start luring her out to the north, splitting her from Morvier, who chases the south team. Turn 15, Merrin takes the Emblem Energy tile near Morvier, while Fogado and Jean stay back. One of Marnie's revival stones gets broken, then Merrin gets smashed away, to retreat and heal on turn 16, while Marnie falls to Bolganon.
Beaten by a bunch of weaklings. Fine. We'll call it even. Next time though, you're dead. Super duper dead.
Morvier continues to chase, but Merrin keeps running, meeting up with the units in the south, who all make their stand at the southern fort on turn 18, causing Morvier to lose his revival stone, and subsequently being forced to retreat on turn 19.
Mine.
Alas. I withdraw for now, but we will meet again.
The Illusion soldiers flee with their commanders, and we continue to Firenze with Alfred worrying for the safety of his citizens.